Hey.
We are away.
God.
Shut up.
I got a little choked up here. It's episode 43. We don't know what the hell we're talking about, but I'll tell you what we've been talking about is
Bacon and egg.
egg and bacon
Egg
or
and
bacon
bacon.
and egg. Apparently, the the real divisive news of the day in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fist fights over it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
bacon and egg.
Which
or
side
egg
is
and
the
bacon
woke
roll,
side?
and it's not even a fucking roll.
Just
It's
for
a-
context,
it's like
just for context for our listeners, we're wasting really good first 7 or 8 minutes of content. So we hit record, and I was just saying it's Saturday morning where I am, and I've got bacon and egg roll, and that's the correct way to say it. But the shop had it written on the board.
He's taking a stand.
Egg and
Did
bacon.
we just lose like half our listeners because you just said that?
Well, probably, or
Half
half the
the
Australian
Aussies.
ones. But
Yeah.
it's a divisive. Which comes first, the bacon or the egg?
Oh,
Our listeners will get
If
it.
you're going to call it a roll, you've got it wrong anyway.
Well, it's a
and it
roll
doesn't matter.
because it's on a bread roll.
God, this fucking guy. Well, yeah, but a sandwich was a burger because it was on a burger bun. None of this makes any sense.
Exactly. It's a chicken burger.
This fucking guy.
fucking hell. But like and I was saying,
Why don't you
wouldn't it-
talk
wouldn't
about
it be-
real issues like
Yeah.
overthrowing the government like
yeah,
we
wouldn't
do
it be
here?
fucking nice if
You
the
know?
main issue your country was dealing with was what to call a fucking sandwich roll, as the case may be, not like, I don't know, fucking is this fascism or not?
Very good.
I think if you're asking the question,
Yeah.
you know.
So this is our first post field trip. Well,
Yeah.
partial
Yeah.
field trip episode. So
And we haven't really. We've been sort of ignoring each other, not on purpose. I think everybody's
I've
been
been ignoring you on purpose.
Dave's been I've been on the road. Ron's been moving to the hellscape that is Bakersfield, California.
Bakersfield. Look out, fuckers. Here I am.
Yeah. He's driving a tractor to work now, which is
I do. And I work from home. So you do that math.
from the barn to the front door.
Yeah, exactly.
He bought a Massey Ferguson so he can call it an MF-er. A good tractor.
If you're watching YouTube, I apologize for Ron's pixelated image. He clearly didn't spend that much time.
What are you talking about, pixelated?
I think it was the tractor bouncing up and down when you tried to take
It's the dial-up internet. That's all he could get.
Anyway,
low res. It is episode 43. Did I say that already?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it still is. A few minutes in.
How have you been, Ben? What's going on? What's going on behind you?
Oh, that's Monkey from the Addicts. Ron and I saw the Addicts put on.
That was a really good show.
That was a really good show.
It was
Throwing
fun.
Confetti and giant balloons, like a legit Addicts show. Those guys are 400, I think. Well,
I'm
Monkey
pretty
is
sure.
anyway. I think half the band is dead or in jail, so he's the only one left. It was a wild. So we did Punk in the Park. I don't want to tell those guys how to run things, but they should do it better.
How
I generally like having good sound, like actually being able to hear like the vocals and stuff is sometimes nice.
Yeah.
I don't like, I don't want to be picky, but that's just how I roll.
So the listeners really want to know those air-conditioned bathrooms.
Yeah.
Everything
They ran out of water.
We're
They
complaining
ran out of soap.
Air-conditioned bathroom.
Well, at some point, we just went to the porta potties because they were in better shape. It is everything you expect a punk show to be. Shitty organization. Nothing fucking works. They'd go through like 3 mics in a set, just trying to sort out one that would actually do anything.
Or they'd just not even bother. Like with the co-defendants, remember? Like They just didn't even bother.
Sort
Like
of
trying to fix
stunningly, the sound crew was like, I don't know, man, this seems fine. It's like,
Man,
yeah,
I wish there was someone here who could fix this for
this
us.
is sounds weird.
Isn't
What do you
that your
think?
fucking job?
So the last time we saw co-defendants, it was the same. It was all fucked up. The guitar, I don't know what was happening. Amp wasn't working.
And just the amp just didn't work. That was weird.
Everything's broken. Same thing then though. The sound guys are like, I don't know. Like, figure it out.
Man, that's a bummer
So
for you guys.
yeah, but the Attic show, you wouldn't have even noticed. Those guys are so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They don't even need sound. Same with the dwarves, man. Holy shit.
That was fun.
Those guys, they're playing here in Denver.
I don't think you can call them
Dwarves will
that.
be
I think
here.
it's vertically challenged.
Little people.
I
That's
don't think you can call them that either.
I don't think the
I
dwarves
think
give
that's
a
what you're
shit.
supposed to. Yeah. I don't think the band
The
dwarves.
best looking band at Punk in the Park.
Best looking band
Fuck those other guys.
ever. Fuck everyone. That man, they put on a good show. They're gonna be here in Denver. If anybody wants to show up to Denver, I don't know. We'll take a mini field trip.
Sure, when's that?
I don't know. I'll look it up. You
I'll
tell us.
hold
You tell us what you've been doing. It's a very punk situation here too.
What you got going on, David?
Not a lot. A little bit of domestic travel in Brisbane this week and Perth last week. And this is The Decline, a Perth skate punk band. Touring early next year, actually, with Authority Zero. So they're going to be up in northern New South Wales and Brisbane.
Sweet.
Anyone
We
want
saw
to
Authority Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyone want to go to there's another field trip we could do February in Brisbane. There's a pedal and monk kind of like fest where these guys are. I said that right, Ron, don't worry.
What?
Pedal and Monk.
Pedal and monk.
Okay,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. We don't have enough punk bands or metal bands to do like whole like shows just in one genre. So we kind of have to combine.
Okay, I'm stupid. I thought it was like monks with like flower petals or some shit. I'm an idiot. Carry on.
That's Ron's
I
kind of
get it
show, by
now.
the way.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's
He likes a little metal.
my
and
jam.
Yeah, so Feb next year. So I thought another shout out to another Australian band. Been at it
Sweet.
since like 2005 or something.
Oh, nice.
Good band.
Dave's got his pickle sticks hat on.
I do. I just
By the way.
go back to the first field trip, the real
Yeah.
field trip.
The real
Where I got
the
invited.
real. To be clear, you were invited and your taint hurt
Ooh.
from travel. I think.
I don't think I don't think that's a formal injury report.
Taint. There's a checkbox for
You
taint.
see those things with like people have those injury databases that it shows the human body and it shows like 15% hand injuries and then there's one that's like 20% taint injuries. We're having a rash of taint injuries across our portfolio.
Speaking of reporting, I
rash and taint.
was at a session this week and heard a story of one organization, one team in one organization that were convinced that no one was reading their Take 5 start cards and just started writing random shit about World War III and Marvel superheroes affecting their work and just like, I mean, on the plus side, it sounded like the team were highly engaged in the pre-start process. But turns out no one was looking at any of that stuff.
Sweet.
That's fantastic.
So, what's happening, Ron?
yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Oh,
What'd you say, Dave?
Other than being in
hit it.
Bakersfield, attending some marches, if Facebook's to be believed. Little bit of local activism.
Yeah, I'm doing my part. No, I got the casualties behind me.
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty good. That was fun.
Pretty
I mean,
fucking good.
you can't beat the fucking Mohawks. Like
yeah.
they were on fucking point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Not much going on. Work's super busy and obviously just moved. So living in boxes. I'm at that phase in moving right now where it's like Like it's 95% done, but the last 5% is so fucking annoying. Like I have no desire to do any of
Just
it.
don't.
And-
Yeah.
but like 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, where is that goddamn thing? And
I wouldn't worry about it. I'd come to the Dwarves show. November 5th, by the way, in Denver. If you're here, let's light
Soon.
this shit up. For some reason, it says it's a $52 show, which cannot be correct. I wouldn't pay more than $7 for a Dwarves show in my
is it
life.
bring
just the
actual
dwarves or is there
dwarves?
other people there?
Oh, it's got to be other people. Oh, it's Gwar. They're opening for Gwar.
That's
Oh,
fucking great.
100%, boys. Oh, yeah. Someone please call me and tell me you're going to be in Denver and you want to go see Gwar.
November
We'll get
5th,
like
you said?
bloodshot on us and stuff. Isn't
Oh God,
that's a normal Gore show? I
that's
don't know if it's real blood anymore. They might have had to cut that out. Used to be pig blood by the
well,
gallon.
the
They'd
fucking safety people probably fucked that up
Yeah.
for us. Some bloodborne pathogen training that we need to give to our audience
in
before.
Yeah.
right in the mouth and eyes. That's how they get you. What do you guys want to talk about other than the return of Gorgor, which is the Gore tour? Ah, oh, that's so good. Here, I'll tell you what I was thinking about. You tell me if it's any good. I don't have to tell you that. I know you will, but this the expanding titles of safety people where it's like safety, health, well-being, security, all these
Hmm.
sort of other things that tack on. And I've always thought like well-being that's a big one and kind of a weird one. I don't know what you guys think about it. This idea of sort of maybe psychosocial safety. A lot of people like to talk about. I don't know if that's well-being or
Kind of
if
like
that's meant to
this
be
the
something different.
scope creep of the profession. Is that what you mean?
I think it's like a specificity thing too. An HR department asks ChatGPT to write a thing for them to hire a new safety person because they don't know often what that person does. I
Hmm.
don't know. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah,
Wow.
you
Do
wrote some
they call
papers
it
about
that in
this.
Australia or is it bacon first?
No,
Or
it's just, I
is it
mean,
wellness, health, and safety or
yeah,
safety
health,
and
safety, security, environment, sustainability, risk. What it
wellness?
just a nice
People.
six or seven letter acronym. It doesn't mean. Look, I think it feels like psychosocial, and I'll probably offend people, and I'm not really up on all
Well,
this stuff.
you're 100% hit rate on that.
But
So
it feels a little bit like it's the new culture, right? So we spent a lot of time worried about culture, and then culture became kind of so abstract and probably didn't really make much progress. And so we've latched onto this feel good psychosocial kind of piece, maybe as a bit of a move on from trying to improve culture. But yeah, I don't know. The wellness piece is a bit like, I feel like that's a management job to take care of your people and check in on your people and know how your people are doing. I just don't see that as a functional role in an organization. Otherwise, you just end up with
who else is going to run the weight room?
fruit bowls and yoga mats, right? Like it's not
Well,
anything meaningful.
That sounds amazing.
that's what I don't get. So like, I mean, some of this has started to come into the US market, but it's not nearly as much as I hear about and see in Australia in
Europe,
particular,
mainly
and
Europe.
Europe also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those fuckers
Like
don't want to work at all.
what exactly so like what would a if we had like a wellness professional working in
Yeah.
an organization, what does that function do?
Back massages.
I think it's like safety though. I
I'm not
think
allowed to do that though.
So they to
think
touch
that
people?
varies.
Yeah, okay, that's harassment,
Oh,
brother.
I don't need sexual harassment training. I'm already good at it. Leave me alone.
And it's never happened to me once. All that stuff that they talk about,
Not even a little.
not even a little bit.
I even tried to volunteer to be in one of the stories. They wouldn't do it.
one of the case studies. It's like Ben goes to HR, Ben goes into HR and goes, "Do all these rules apply to me?" They go, "Ben, these rules were written because of you."
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Ben.
That's
This is
that's not
known as the Ben policy.
that's, that's not even close to true. And someone will be upset that we've talked about that too. So.
Probably.
And they've listened to 43 episodes, and that's what they're upset about.
I'm telling you, man, it doesn't take much. There's always something to latch on to. I don't know what wellness does any more than I know what safety does in an organization, right? You go in and
That's
somebody
fair.
is the safety person, and there's such a weird fucking spectrum of what's being asked of these people. Sometimes it's a very strategic role. Sometimes it's just assholes walking around job sites yelling at people for PPE, and they're hired with the same job descriptions. And I don't know, wellness, I think, in this country is, as Ron said, maybe less prevalent than in other parts of the world, and Europe especially. But I think there are places where, people focus on, I don't know, what do they call it? Your insurance has, like, you can call and talk to people.
Oh, the
Uh,
EAPs, like the
EAP, it's
employee
that
action
sort of
programs
thing.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's they tell you, oh, you can have time off to volunteer. That's fulfilling since we're sucking the life out of you at work.
Hmm.
We won't make you take
Yeah.
actual time off to volunteer. But I think of it like that, those sorts of things. I'm not sure it's a strange leap for me to think that that just bundles up with safety.
It's an interesting. I think there's some similarities in organizational approach. I was talking about this to someone this week, and on this context, that I think if you go back 20 years, we had this big sort of like safety push. Let's call it organizational safety push, right? We're trying to get leaders to care more about safety and take more interest. And then, at least in this
Pay
part of the
more
world,
attention.
we had this kind of like the decade from the 2010s was all about the environment push, right? Make organizations care more about the environment. And now it feels like we're in this real wellness, post-COVID wellness kind of push in organizations. And the kind of the template organizational approach is exactly the same. I do a whole bunch of whether it's greenwashing or high vis washing in safety, and now it's all this wellness washing going on. I just talk about all this kind of stuff like I care, and if I include enough corporate messages, then I can feel good that I'm doing something about it. And then we do a whole bunch of peripheral shit that doesn't do anything, right? It's a bit like going and volunteering is like the wellness equivalent of a fucking safety stand down, right? I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change your work. I'm not going to give you a better leader. I'm not going to adjust your workload. I'm not going to give you more autonomy or clarity or job progression or capability or any of those things that are meaningful in your role. I'm just going to, like my comment about fruit bowls and yoga mats and back massages and volunteering and fucking whatever it is, an extra day of leave a year on your birthday or something like that.
Sure. It's like when
So
you're drowning and someone throws you a slice of pizza.
yeah, and this topic
It's
that
pizza
came
party,
up.
bitches.
I was at a workshop this week with
Was it a stand down or a
was this, well, it was a stand down for the 15 or 20 safety people that were in the room. They weren't in their organizations that day. But Drew Ray was there as well, from the other
What's up, Drew?
podcast. Um, and
Yeah,
he
the smart
Oh,
podcast.
and he did this presentation earlier this year about, everything we do in safety is about just reducing our anxiety around whether we're doing enough or not. It's not really fundamentally about making our organization safer. And Eric Holnagel kind of said organizations need to feel safe and be safe, but the former takes priority over the latter. And I think wellness is right square in this camp at the moment. We want to feel like we're doing stuff, but I don't get the impression that many organizations are actually doing much to improve people's, I guess,
hmm.
health,
So
wellness experience at work. Rant
maybe
over.
coming back, I'm going to bring it back to the original question,
Oh, sorry, was that not the
which is
question?
which is not whether Dave likes wellness so much as, what does that impact on, that handing that to safety people? Does it make any fucking sense? I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but is there
Core
a
HR
negative
function.
impact, or is it,
What do you think?
if I name someone in that role and I add that to their safety title, is it watering down what they do, or does no one even notice?
Well, I mean, like take it away from something that is maybe more new and, somewhat controversial perhaps, and is like my title's EHS, environmental health and safety. Like, this environment, like me managing the environment on top of health and safety, does that even make sense? I'm not going to get fired, so I'm not going to say too much more.
Already got him fired from
But
one
no,
job.
I mean, like, for real, it's something I've always thought about. It's just weird that we just lumped those things together. Like, and
Yeah.
yes, there's some overlap, but when I think of the overlap, a lot of it's because, oh, you're also managing compliance, so you can manage environmental
Yeah.
compliance too.
Perfect.
Um, and so I do worry that, like, this it sends a wrong message, or to your point, Ben, it maybe dilutes from places maybe we that would be more productive, like to take our management of operations, away from
I,
a compliance focus.
I think you said something that made a lot of sense to me, which is environment maybe gets lumped in because yeah, I know. I was stunned myself. But, but right in the taint. But if you view safety as a compliance
Rochambeau you
function,
for
then
it.
it sort of makes sense that environment, which is viewed a lot of times as a compliance function, gets lumped in. And then if you view safety as this sort of nebulous thing to make it look like we care and tell other people to care more and pay more attention, then I think that's when maybe that's a
Yeah.
sign, right? That when wellness gets lumped in, that we're kind of, as Dave said, it is that sort of risk washing or
Mm.
greenwashing, whatever it is. But I think I don't know that there's a lot of Fortune 50 companies out there that are really truly invested in making sure everybody does yoga. I think it's an optics thing at best.
So there was so it's at risk of a major tangent. Um there's
No,
one
That would
that's
be it. That would
really
be
weird for us.
so different from our normal way of
on
operating.
track, yeah. Um
Yeah,
there is
careful.
some research actually from the States was looking at safety roles and incident rates. And we can obviously question the validity of that relationship and I guess the validity of incident rates, but did find a statistical kind of conclusion that heads of safety that had other things in their role, their companies had lower incident rates for safety if they had like environment included in their role or sustainability or something else, right? And so researchers had no fucking idea why that was the case, but speculated on a couple of things, and one was that because they were responsible for more functions, they typically moved around at senior levels of the organization a little bit more, and they had broader relationships across the organization with different stakeholders, and they had sort of greater influence. That was kind of one hypothesis. The other hypothesis was that they were already doing a good job at safety and could extend those resources across to other areas. But they didn't know. But there is a little bit of, so just on that, a little bit of research that probably suggests that it might make organizations safer, but we don't know why.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you could look at
And just straight up correlation, not causation, but just straight up that if your head of
yeah, but
if your safety team has a bunch of other shit in their title, you might be safer.
you could sort of keep on that theme of correlation, maybe, and say, look, if a focus on wellness has to do with um, reducing fatigue in the workplace, right? Or reducing
Sleep
stress,
pods, perfect.
sleep,
So good.
or like
I'm so here for that.
I'm
propofol,
so pumped for that. I'll
Yeah.
take the head of wellness job if I could put sleep pods into the office.
just ketamine
Yes.
injections at work,
Yeah.
special K and sleep pods. Perfect.
Shrooms and
But if you're
sleep
putting,
pods.
but if you're putting some sort of
If you
concerted
cared
effort
about
in,
wellness, you would just
Sorry, Ben.
if you reduced stress, for instance, maybe you're doing something with distraction management. If you reduce fatigue, maybe you're doing something to address this issue, whether it's cognitive decline because of fatigue.
Mm.
I don't know. Does some of this have a knock-on effect with safety too? And you know,
At the risk of taking
maybe
us down another little rabbit hole, there was an
Here it is
article in
again.
our financial press, so our Wall Street Times kind of Financial Times kind of equivalent, a Wall Street
Sure.
Journal or Financial Times.
Just
That this
stole both
organization, as
names.
part of their wellness program, they give people daily masturbation breaks and have rooms in the
Shut
office.
up. No,
No,
they
you-
don't.
Jesus Christ.
so turn your browser onto private and just search company masturbation breaks or something, and you'll find this article from Australia. And this CEO, female CEO, was saying the office is a much better place because we just let everyone gets 30 minutes a day.
What?
It's legit, man. It's in the financial
No
press. It
fucking
is
way.
legit.
It
Look
is.
it up.
You're looking it up right now?
I'm looking it up. Well, no
Uh,
one's gonna fire me.
It's going to be in the show notes.
We'll link it. Just click the comments below, and we'll,
That's a permanent policy.
it's a
Oh my.
Oh,
it's anyway. So
and
for anyone out there,
this last name is Lust, by the way.
anyone
Lust.
of our listeners who have wellness in their title, reach out to me if you want some ideas for things you can do, proven to work in other organizations.
Jesus.
We were less focused, more agitated, and overall more anxious. Not anymore.
Yeah,
Done.
Feel so much more relaxed.
So those
Um,
sleep pods are getting like there's some.
Oh yeah, just
You're
watch
gonna-
them burst.
You're gonna want a Lysol wipe.
Yeah.
A
Just
wet nap
all
in
I'm
that
saying,
thing.
look, it's science.
She says, now hold on. I set up a private room in the office, which we call the masturbation station. There's a range of toys. Come on, man. This can't be real.
It's real. It's Australian.
A mid-shift
We
wank.
share the fucking
Get the
toys.
hell out of here. Yeah, come on.
No.
We're progressive. We're trying to do things that matter.
Oh God.
Oh man,
okay.
here's a place based in Cyprus that does have masturbation pods with VR headsets. Golly, I wondered
No.
what that big
No.
expense line item was for ForgeWorks up in Brisbane
Yes.
at the office.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
adding
you
a
should.
wing.
Yeah, the conversations with the accountants are a bit awkward.
Oh my God.
Still waiting for our IRS to ask questions.
That safety innovation summit's gonna be fucking amazing.
So
Masturbation.
I'll
pod.
sponsor the stations.
Um,
Proud, yeah, brought to you, powered by Magpie. Anyway, how's that for a tangent? How's that for a
Oh,
tangent,
no.
boys?
Jesus Christ.
So when
That's
you're
a
at
tough
when you're
one.
at Punk in the Park in your double VIP, did they
Oh, it wasn't. So there was a double VIP.
there was a double VIP.
So you go in VIP.
yeah.
There's another sort of. You go through the fence.
Next level.
We could not. It was the only nice place.
Yeah, we were just
VIP.
loser
They
VIP.
didn't let Ron in.
But anyways,
So are we off
I
track
can't
yet?
stop.
Are we,
I can't
beyond
stop looking up these
masturbation.
articles.
are we off?
Um,
Ben's like, I only read it for the articles.
yeah, that's it.
It's not Google Scholar anymore, boys. Okay,
two
sorry.
things unrelated to masturbation. Number one, to the research you mentioned earlier, Dave, I wonder, like, so what pops in my head is right now we're getting ready to staff up for some of the functions in the EHS part of the organization. And so, like, I'm
You have
going
a
to
project yet?
Huh?
Do you have a project?
We're fucking, we got
Almost.
projects. We got projects.
All right, cool.
We got projects.
We need to write some plans.
But
Ron has a concept of a plan.
Ron has to write some EHS management plans. You need some people.
yeah, I mean, we got some procedures. We got
Some
some
binders.
policies. We got it, man.
Got a pod.
If you don't have a masturbation policy, you don't got it.
We don't have that yet. That is fair. But like, I'm gonna hire specialized personnel for each of these areas. So my point is, if you get to a certain level in your no, if you get to a certain like size of an organization, you may have like, okay, the function, the pillar in the organization, the business unit, whatever, has those titles in its, what it's called, the label, environmental health, safety, well-being, whatever. But within that function, you may have people who specialize in it, who may actually, so even though it's not like one person who's doing all those things, you may have like
Disciplines, like
specialization just
discipline
happening.
heads.
Yeah.
You have an environment manager and a wellness manager and a
Yeah. Is that like I mean, could that be what's happening?
maybe.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Um,
I
Well, we
feel like
don't need a safety manager. I'll tell you
I feel
that.
like I feel like Ben's checked out. He's just doing internet shopping now for the
yeah.
office.
Masturbation
Ah,
pod.
pod.
Oh, look, free delivery on Amazon. Tomorrow, next day deliveries.
Sweet. That's great.
What's the search have to say?
But the other thing, like Ben, you were saying about like how there may be some correlations in terms of like, okay, if you're doing well-being, does that help with safety in some sense? Because I'm reflecting on like I don't, I'm not responsible for well-being, but like
Not
part
yet.
of yet part
Sounds
of
like a push for it
our
now, though.
yeah, exactly, fuck. um part of
I've got
our
an idea, guys. Hear me out.
like,
I'll help you with your PowerPoint pack.
God in heaven. Part of our what we're trying to do, like, I don't know, I personally believe that like if we make the work better for people, it's going to make it safer,
That's
based on
crazy.
whatever definition. And so like part of that is well-being, like to your point,
Sure,
Dave, earlier about like working out scheduling and job pressures and stuff like that. Like you almost get well-being with some of the stuff that we're doing, even
sure,
if we're not coming at it directly, right? So
yeah,
there's got to be some overlaps in some of these things, intentionally or not, right?
sure. I
Yeah,
hope so.
I think it's unintentionally though most of the time. I think we're trying to find a we're trying to justify it a little bit here.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah, because
maybe.
I think if you listen to episode 2, where Ron says that companies don't need safety people, at least by tacking environment and wellness and a few things on, at least it keeps
Sure.
people employed, right?
Harder
Yeah.
to fire you.
It's
Yeah.
harder to
Yeah.
fire you if you're doing more. It's harder to fire you. But I think you're right, Ron. I think this idea that if we're doing our role as safety people well, and we're building capability in leaders, and we're getting better communication, and we're adjusting the work, and we're providing the resources people need, and all of those things, then people's experience of work, at least the extent to which work impacts on them negatively, we should be doing something about. So it's not that removed. I just think that I'm more critical of what organizations are doing in this space, which is
Yeah.
that whole, we want to be seen to be doing stuff. And particularly in Australia, it's sort of, in Australia, we've got all parts of Australia now. There's workplace health and safety regulations about psychosocial health and wellness, right? So companies, so to your point, Ron, about compliance, companies are now forced to be able to demonstrate that they've done risk assessments around their wellness and they're doing things. So that compliance approach is sort of well intentioned by policymakers, but it's the unintended consequences of complying your way to caring more about people, right? And so what organizations are doing is doing stuff that can be demonstrated that, activity without
Yeah.
addressing underlying systemic issues, factors in the organization. So now we've got this whole compliance industry around wellness, which is just, I guess, I don't know.
Which a lot of that sounds like it's, to coin a term from one of your papers,
Which
or
one?
fuck you, to go off the term
So
from one of your papers.
so
It's
many.
like it's like demonstrated wellness, right? It's
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not real, it's not like real wellness. It's, yeah, and that sucks,
It's wellness masturbation. if you will. It's
If you
not
will.
the real thing.
But to
Yeah.
check out, like, I think that's pretty good demonstrate. That's probably one of those things that you can demonstrate and actually makes a difference.
Well, so let's clarify what we mean by demonstration here, because that also can.
The inspector comes in, you're like, listen, this is a show, not tell kind of situation. I really
the thing that would be kind of interesting is if you took a job at that company and walked in, and the first you knew about that was during your site induction, where you just was walking around the office and just going, "Oh,
whoa, what the fuck?
What's that?"
Sorry, I was looking for the copy room. Holy.
So yeah, so I think it is that demonstrated, and so I think, I mean, policymakers and regulators are trying to bring attention to aspects of organizational operations that they get concerned about, and this is one of them. And then obviously that then drives compliance motivated activity in organizations, which is really all about how can I create some paperwork, how can I create some assurance activities, how can I do some things that I can show I had a wellness week this month, and then I put some plants in the office area because it creates a more relaxing environment. I painted the walls blue because it's got a calming effect on people, and I gave all of my managers, I don't know, just some kind of training in wellness.
Dave's solving this for anyone listening who's like, shit, how do I comply? Dave's like, plants, blue, pods, all nailed it.
Yeah,
but I do.
Cool. I'll come and redesign your offices for you.
Yeah,
nice. Just put some Punk Rock Saves Lives logos on everyone's work shirts instead of the whole zero harm. Replace the whole zero harm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Zero wellness, or zero not wellness.
Zero wellness. Perfect.
Zero.
Maybe there's a
zero tension
test. There's a decent test in there, maybe, Ron, from what you said, which is something along the lines that there is a connection, right? So if you're doing some of these things, people should have.
Hold on, my masturbation pod just showed up.
Where'd he go? He just left. All right, now that we got rid of that guy.
He legit left.
He did. Now it's a bassist and a drummer, and this is
all right.
There he is.
Episode 43. We've had Ron not turn up before, but we've never actually had Ron leave.
Just leave.
Show
you didn't hear my doorbell?
No.
Zoom. My doorbell.
I had a door. Anyway.
Nope.
Those Amazon drones are fast.
In Bakersfield, there's demand. They're ready with it.
There must be a lot of demand in Bakersfield.
Yeah, exactly. What were you saying, Ben?
I don't know. I said maybe it's sort of a test, right? That if the things you're doing as a safety person, if you can't link that maybe to wellness, even if it's a stretch, I think maybe there's a sign that you're just doing busy work. Anyway. It's not impactful to the work. To give it a sort of a generous interpretation of it, I guess. But Ron, that sort of goes backward from what you were talking about, which is if you are doing some of these things and work improves and people are, less stressed, or the negative effects of work go down.
And also, just to add a little bit more, another direction for this as well, in that organizations sometimes feel like safety's going quite well, right? Like we've made progress, we've made improvement, and the safety professional, the safety function is seen as a function that can get stuff done, right? They're connected with operations. They've got relationships at all levels of the business. They kind of know what's going on. So I've also heard anecdotally in organizations that if I want something done, I give it to the safety team because they can, a new program or new activity. So I think that's why some of these adjacent things to do with people and work that don't fit neatly in finance or HR or engineering or something, it's like, well, give it to the safety people. They do a bunch of broad shit. So they can figure out how to get, this sort of a program done as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. On the
Well,
wellness
the
side,
jobs
though,
pay.
go
That's why they pay so well.
Yeah.
Safety jobs.
look at Ron.
Yeah.
Just
I
fucking
do.
bought a ranch in Bakersfield.
Yeah. I gotta go milk the cows soon. Um,
Drive
A
the tractor.
donkey ranch.
that's how I relieve stress. But it's just, but well, I mean, to your original question, Ben, about like, does that dilute the safety side of it? Like, and I think this piggybacks on what you were just saying, Dave. To me, it just depends on how you're doing it. If you know, if you're coming at this like as a compliance function, then I think it does dilute it a bit, right? Because
Yeah.
like if I'm only focusing on like how to check boxes on the environmental side or wellness or insert whatever, I mean that's a fundamentally different thing than doing compliance on safety or doing any other aspect of safety. If I'm instead coming at this from like, okay, I want to understand how the work happens. What are the constraints? What are the difficulties, the pressures? How do I, and the risks involved to the goals and the trade-offs amongst those goals. I mean, it's really easy to see how, okay, I almost end up doing a few different things at the same time, like by default. And so in that sense, it's less dilution, in my opinion, than, you know, if you're doing it from a compliance perspective.
Yeah, I really I like that. I think the why and the how, as I guess Simon Sinek would say, starting with that, because you can come at this from a I need to be able to show that I comply with the law, and then or then you can come at it from like a workplace work type of point of view. So you go, and then the second point is, oh well, I need to fix my worker, so I'm going to give them resilience training, and going to put mental health first aiders there. I'm going to give them EAP. I'm going to kind of fix the worker, or then I'm going to fix the workplace, which is I'm going to put some pot plants or some trees and just make the workplace feel a bit better. But ultimately, the thing that makes the difference is the work, right? The role clarity, the autonomy, the workload, the contribution, the leadership, people's experience of the work that they do. And so, I think your point there is, when you're starting down this path, just get really clear on, what what you're trying to do from a why and a how point of view. And that should then lead to a whole bunch of different what things that you do. If you're coming at it from a compliance point of view, you're doing a lot of different things if you're coming at it from a reshaping the work point of view.
Yeah.
The program's going to look totally different. Um,
Yeah.
I actually quite really like that.
But of course, the challenge is, doing it that way doesn't mean that the compliance stuff doesn't go away. Like in my job, I still have to do compliance, even if I have that.
But ultimately, if you, I'm going to call it properly to be normative or whatever, but if you adjust the work, then compliance takes care of itself. Like seriously, like
Gets easier.
if you don't have paperwork, but you say to the regulator, "Oh, come in and just and just come in and speak to whoever you want, interview 30 people, ask them about their experience of work, talk about what we've done to change the work to reorientate it towards better wellness and employee experience," then your compliance takes care of itself. Like,
Yeah, we talked about this we had an episode on this. Ron didn't listen to it, but we did talk
did he
about
turn up?
If I didn't listen to it, then I must have been there.
What did we
Because
talk
the
about
only
with Josh
episode I've
again?
ever listened to is the one I wasn't there.
Yeah, we talked about sort of regulation, and does regulation actually make things worse, or compliance? And we talked about it there, right? That if you're doing if you're doing a good job sorting out the work, right? Doing things that actually work, that provably work, then compliance is sort of secondary. It happens, right? I can tell a story about how it works. You get back to like Greg Smith's book, Proving Safety. He talks about, these conversations instead of stacks of paperwork, right?
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
wellness is probably in that category. If we're used to doing that in safety and showing the actual outcomes and performance, and then maybe it isn't a side quest. Maybe Maybe it does fit in well. We're used to
Yeah.
trying to demonstrate this. And I think maybe wellness is in that category like safety, right? Where it's a little cloudy in terms of definition, right? Wellness to one person is different than to another, and safety
Absolutely.
gets misunderstood that way a lot of times too. So I don't know, maybe we are the right people since we're not doing safety.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
According to Ron,
maybe it
Ron's
depends in your
fired all of
organization.
us.
Like if in your organization, like if you've got a good HR function, give it to HR, right? Like employee experience and that, and job design and organizational structure and development and succession and all those things are core HR functions. But if your HR function's shit, then give it to your safety function. Like really, ultimately, you want to give this to, or you want to give this responsibility to the function that can do something about it, right? Influence the stakeholders in the organization, get involved in the design of work, and yeah, whichever function can actually do that out of the two. I think they're the two candidates, and I think you can
Well, if
call it
you sort
adjacent
out
to
HR,
both.
you can fix a lot of wellness.
Well, totally.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
make
I
them
would
stop
agree with that.
bothering us.
And to Ron's point earlier, if you sort out safety, you can fix a lot of wellness stuff as well.
Sure. Everything's fixed. There's no one left at the end of it. All HR gone. All safety people gone. It's just some environment guy.
Yeah.
Who's checking spill
Screaming,
kits
screaming about permits.
and silt traps, water quality testing.
Yeah. Stormwater stuff, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Birds, nene geese.
We haven't Ben. We haven't shouted out the merch store for a while. How's the merch store going? You still losing money, or
Oh God, I haven't looked at it. I feel like the only thing that drives traffic is when we have something new.
I've got my Circle Jerk shirt on. This is a good one. This is out and
That's a
about
great,
now,
yeah,
Great shirt.
rocking it.
it is a
So
good one. I don't know how we're I've had shit to do, which is really messes with my ability to sort out the merch store.
I
So
do.
if you've
Okay,
got
we'll take it
ideas,
as a side project. I want to get this accident bad safety important shirt up.
uh
Yeah, that's got to go up. We got to fix that high res image issue up and get that out there. Drive some traffic to the
we'll
merch store.
we'll get somebody at Fiverr is the way to do it, man. We'll
Yeah,
get
perfect.
some graphic designer. They'll do it up for us. Boom.
All right,
You send it
perfect.
to me, we'll put it on a shirt. This is how shit gets done, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, we're coordinating. Ron,
Keep going.
he lit up. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you wouldn't know, but Ron got pretty excited.
Actually, I do feel like a good seller on the merch store would be the punk rock safety masturbation station shirt. Safety masturbation station.
Or just a sticker.
Punk Rock
Just a
Safety
series
Wellness
of
Program.
stickers.
It's gotta, yeah. A sticker might be all right. You could just whack that on something.
Oh,
You sure could.
no.
You sure could, buddy.
You sure could.
Just
See, I see what I did there.
Yeah.
make a notebook. Oh man, there's so many.
Did you say lick a notebook?
Make
Oh,
a notebook.
okay.
Wellness plan.
Notebook is a weird.
Exercise crossed out. Good eating crossed out. Masturbation.
I did read something this morning about all of your 50 states in the US and just giving them all slogans. And the Colorado one was the only state that you can own a weed farm and a machine gun.
Fuck yeah, I can.
So licking something might not be too far off the mark.
No, mushrooms are legal in Denver,
Perfect.
I think.
Fuck yeah, they are.
A lot of stuff. Ketamine, mushrooms, probably ayahuasca, and machine guns. I
Yeah.
think probably all of it.
Checks out.
Sweet.
One's in Bakersfield, which is, I mean, as a pocket of California, is pretty machine gun heavy.
Yeah.
I would
No,
assume.
there's
Solid.
on average.
I mean, Long Beach was probably like Tech 9 heavy back in the day, but
Yeah.
NWA style.
Yeah. Less maybe less so today, but yeah, it still has that reputation. But no, Bakersfield has the reputation and they can back it up.
Perfect.
All right, did we solve it?
I think so. I think this can just be a straight up punk rock saves lives. The wellness
There
episode.
it is. I love it.
Yeah, we did.
Spot on.
Right and left.
Shout out to those folk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are at every show.
Yeah.
Like every
they're
punk
awesome.
show, man. Punk Rock Saves Lives is there. They're giving out Narcan. They're giving out all sorts of crazy shit. You do cheek swabs to see if you can be a donor for all sorts of different things. Man, it's a solid organization. If you're not giving them money, you should give them.
Yeah, so if you
Don't
got some
give
spare
us money.
if you got some spare budget in your wellness program, that's it.
Yeah.
Donate to Punk Rock Saves Lives. Buy
Yeah.
your staff some
Take your fucking wellness
merch.
budget, give it to them. It'll actually do some fucking good.
It'll
Yeah, jump on the
actually
merch store, buy some t-shirts, get one of those they have at the NBA games, those air guns that shoot t-shirts out the crowd.
finger.
Oh,
You've
a t-shirt cannon.
You've never seen an unhappy person when people start shooting free t-shirts into the crowd, right? Like there's
For the guy that gets one straight to the face.
and for the guy that gets one and then for like this, you just see this just like at the tennis or whatever, this young graduate catch this t-shirt and the CEO comes in and rips it out of their hand and runs off with it.
Yeah.
What a good insight.
That's capitalism, my friend.
Good insight into your culture. Speaking of which, the basketball season's kicked off.
Yeah, it has.
Ronimal,
Yeah.
You want to do a little bit of gambling or X-ray tables at a
Do you
poker
think
game or anything?
Is like the strategy to repeat to like go to overtime on all your games, or is that just like
Well, no, the strategy is so because the Thunder have pretty much broken every record in the league last year. One of the only records was no team had gone to double OT in their first 2 games of the season. So at the moment, the Thunder are just trying to find random, obscure records to beat. But
Well, their coach didn't get arrested for racketeering, so
Yeah.
that's a next step.
that's a win?
yeah,
Yep.
I think but yeah,
It's a different
how
kind
good
of record.
tell you what, your number 30, Ron, is still a
Yeah,
best shooter to ever play the game, right?
It's
So good.
It's just stupid. Like
Yeah.
I feel so lucky that it's like you get to see these players on TV, but like when they're actually like here playing right now, you know what I mean? That's kind of special.
Like Aaron Gordon.
Like fucking man, that guy.
That guy.
I almost flew to San Francisco just to kick his kneecaps.
Perfect.
All right, we solved it.
All right.
Speaking of wellness,
Speaking of wellness,
good job, boys. Punk Rock
That's
Saves
Tanya
Lives.
Harding, that bitch.
that's right. That's Ron's safety approach, which is like if safety gets a little bit slow one month, I'll go kneecap some people so I've got something to investigate.
Give me
Something to
something to
report,
do.
something to investigate.
Punch you in the taint.
That's it. What he does is he actually places bets on his injury rates for next month, and then he goes around,
And makes it
That's
happen.
makes it happen.
That's it.
The FBI is going to be knocking on. That's
That's why they call him.
That's why you had to move out to
Crystal balls.
Bakersfield. Yeah, you had to move house because the FBI were getting too close.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta keep moving.
All right, dudes.
All right, bitches.
Perfect.
Later.